was going to do today was not allowed in the rules. Didn't think that there was any rules that talked about an alkane that was heated, but yeah, apparently there is. So we're going to go back to opals. We were going to do opals anyway, but it's just going to do this one. Anywho, flipping it around. So yes, sorry, I'm in a little bit of shock because I didn't think I was doing anything wrong. Apparently I was. I think sometimes people just get a bit malicious. People can complain and stuff. It doesn't matter. What you've got to do in life is win regardless of what people are doing to you or for you. Here we go. Have I got enough water? Yes, I do. So let's just turn the water on so we get things running. And there we go. And I will just pull out the plug and turn on the lights so that you can see what's going on. There we go. So we're into 2 minutes. I think that's hopefully I can mention the word propane now without getting into trouble. Should have taken a screenshot of that. I certainly hope I didn't result in a soft ban because that'd be annoying. Anyway, here we go. That's that. Zooming in. Welcome, those of you. I did try and do something propane related, but apparently I got a warning message on my YouTube, so I'm not doing that now. It would have been way more fun. I deleted the vid. It was only 1 or 2 minutes in anyway. Doesn't matter. So, what have we got here? Well, it's Opal, so it is fun anyway. We've still got the Celine Dion effect here going, so let's try and fix this up. Front of screen. How's that? Much better. There we go. That's that done. Put stuff back because paper is expensive. Ugh. We're only going to spend half an hour, 45 minutes doing this. But let it be epic. And I think we will get something epic because have a look at this guy. See that? I haven't even put the enhance button on. There we go. Now let's zoom right in as far as we can go. Maybe we should even. There we go. You can see all that nice layering there. Beautiful little stone. Got a lot more like that. Let me have a quick look around here, see what we can find. Basically, this little bunch of rocks that I got here, they're pretty much all got some kind of shimmer and shine in them somewhere. It's just a case of looking for it. I'm having a look now, see what I can spot. I was going to try and extract silver using a propane torch, but apparently no. It's not a weapon, it's not a particularly nasty thing, it's just a torch. But better safe than sorry. There we go. Okay. Let's have a look here. I'm just trying to find another nice stone. Couldn't really see much in the other one. I think one of these is a case of you got to look underneath it. Oh no, I see it. Okay, so yeah, I think you can just see it there. Where is it? You'll spot it. You can just see this red flash that's going on there. So the question about this particular stone is, where is the color going to originate? I don't know. I think we can just cut into the straight into the top of it. Well, the bottom, I think, because I think this is the top and I think this is the bottom. And if it's red, the standard model of how opals form is that silica spheres just tend to settle, and the larger spheres, the red ones, settle at the bottom. So if there's red at the bottom, that's the bottom of the opal. So if you flip it over to make it the top, then you're turning the whole thing upside down. Boring. Okay, fair enough. So we've got that there. Let's have a look at this guy. Oh, now this guy's interesting. I know what this one is. This one is what I call a cherry tree pattern, and the reason is this is a Growan opal. You can see that little line that's going on there. This is an offcut from another one. This Oh, okay. Was that you? Oh, okay. Okay, well, Yes, it was very big of you to actually come clean with that one. Okay. Well, I suppose I'm stuck here with the opals now. We might go back to the fire later. But, yeah, okay. What I'll do is I'll just have a quick look at these other opals and then we'll just get started. And no hard feelings. I actually think that it's braver if you actually own up to what you've done. So you've won my respect by doing that. Let's plug in and we'll start. Right. Better. This one is just to make sure that the system ain't misbehaving or sending me any warning messages. For those 28 people who are on, I started messing with a propane torch, and this wag came on and told me that I was going to get banned if I didn't instantly stop the stream. And so I stopped the stream, and he came clean. I reset to Opals, and then when I started talking about it, he said, that was me. So I'm just checking to see if it's Opal first, but no. But if you're wondering what that message is all about, now you know. I presume the metric sphinx is capable of cutting guns in half, but can only do it in centimetres. Oh, it wasn't you. Okay, sorry. So there you have it, ladies and gents. Listen, the fact of the matter is that regardless of whether it was a troll message or not, I probably would have ended the stream and as a safeguard anyway, because I'm planning on building the channel and I'm not going to risk it. So, you know, threatening with a ban is actually quite serious. I appreciate humour just like the next person, but I'm just saying it as a point of general decency. Yeah, it's not as funny as you think. But ultimately, no harm done. And there are worse things that are happening in this world than just the odd prankster. So I am capable of taking it into consideration, taking it into my stride, so to speak. So that's a fine and dandy. And generally speaking, we have fun on our streams, so, you know, whatever. Whatevs. I think what I might do, I've been messing around with a few platforms, and there's a, if anyone here is actually having fun with AI, possibly some of the trolls like using AI, and they'll probably be interested to hear what I say about this as well. I've been messing around with the AI and I found ways to actually extract more out of AI than you could ever possibly imagine. So if you want to hear about that, hang around. So there is my test opal. Seems to have done quite well. What we'll do is we'll grab a piece of black and see what it looks like with a black background, see if it's actually any good. I think I've seen better. It's got a little bit of colour, but not much. So I don't think I'll be doubleting this one. I think this is just something that'll become a, you know, random bauble. It's not particularly amazing, but still, it's an opal. So now we've done that one, let's move into territory of a slightly better one, this one. This one has a little bit of colour on it. It's what I call a cherry tree pattern. Hopefully we'll be able to get that cherry tree pattern out. They're tough to do, but we'll see. Cherry blossom, sorry, not cherry tree. I named the pattern and I don't even know what it is. So basically what happens is that these things have a bit of fractal colour. If there's more fractal colour, which I'm hoping, if there's more fractal colour here, then I might be able to try and turn it into a cherry blossom pattern. If not, then it's just a random piece of white opal with a purple line in it. This instance, I'd ordinarily be a bit more brutal with the edges, but this might be the only area where the opal actually is. So I'm being a bit more cautious than normal. I think there's a bit of spark in this thing, so that's good. There we go. We've got one cross bit. Have a look at that. See how we've got a little bit of a pattern going across there? That's encouraging. See if we can get more of that happening. Putting these opals down and put them over to here. Time for a bit of two-handed support for the opal. There we go. We'll zoom it that way so that you can. I'm hoping that will actually work better for you. We'll find out in a second. Yeah, kind of. Except you'll hear me breathing, which might not be pleasant. Not exactly as relaxing as a Barry White clip, I suppose, but you know, whatever. I'll be listening to this later, and if I hear my heavy breathing on it, I'm going to be like, because my face is pressed right up to the glass, which is right next to this, which I don't know what it's doing to the microphone. I can only assume with 54 people watching that my breathing can't be that off-putting. Oh, they've put the volume down. Right, I can move back a bit. Give everyone a little bit of Lebensraum. So what I'm doing now is I'm trying to get that cherry blossom pattern to work out. We'll see how it goes. Okay, well this has turned out quite fascinating in its own right, because what we're getting here is we're getting a little bit of sparkle just in the opal itself. I'm going to try and get that to happen. Let's see if we can. Doesn't seem to be playing ball for us. Let's have a quick look. Trying to get it to work for me. Alright, what I'll do is I'll keep going with this to try and get the pattern out. I'm going to turn it into a drop shape, I think. It's sort of screaming teardrop. There, you can see it coming from there. I have to apply myself a little bit more cautiously than most other opals. It's a bit interesting. Ordinarily I'm a bit more gung-ho about what material needs to go, but not in this case. Now that's the sound we like to hear. So this is going to be quite exquisite. Didn't expect such niceness from this particular opal. I was just hoping to get the cherry blossom pattern out, but I'm actually getting a nice opal pattern regardless. I suppose we can still call it cherry blossom, but someone's probably already got a nice name for this. And just there we saw the pattern right near my thumb. There's a bit of flash happening. I'm just going to very gently expose this bit so I can see some minor venation going on here. Yes, so we zoom right in. Let's have a look. So there is colour. There's a light purple tint that flashes at you sometimes when we're looking at this. But also you can see that beautiful line that's going down near my thumb. And then when we tip it over, there's just a small vertical line as well. So I don't think I can carve that into a cherry blossom tree like you expect in a garden in Japan. But some of these can actually happen like that. So I might even find you one. Have I got one sitting around? I think I do. What for art thou, cherry blossom pattern? Let me see. Can't see it. I actually literally got one out and started carving it up so that I could show it next time one showed up, and one showed up and I don't know where the pattern is. Hang on, might be over here. Gosh. Let me see. Over here, maybe? I'm pretty certain I had it here. Yeah, maybe under here. I stepped on it. So I'm going to get them up in there. Alright. Hopefully it'll come out in the wash somewhere. I'm hoping that it will. That's my head. Nor is that, nor is that, nor is that. Good to have a look at these, just make sure. Not that one. Nope, and nope. Alright. Well, maybe bring it to my rubs pile. Could have done that. The darker things. That's not there. Well, it might be there, but I'm not going to waste too much time on it. Alright. Moving right along. Moving along, guys. Moving along. Moving along. And put something down here. Let's get on with the shape. Okay. What I'll do is I'll bring in the showstopper this time round. There's a very nice opal that I hopefully haven't lost. And we will start to cut that one. That's interesting. Very artistic, but not helpful. Right. Hopefully this one's it. Or this one. Whichever one it is. I don't mind. Yes, it's this one. We put this one under the light and then we'll have a look at what it is so you can see it in its beauty. See all those little shiny bits. I can guarantee you that in real life it looks much better than that, but well, we have to deal with what we have to deal with, don't we? 115. That escalated quickly. And thank you for the like, whoever did that. It means a lot. Down we go. On we get. There we go. Oh, not again. Hang on. My heart will go on, and I put Vaseline on the lens. Okay. That may have to go up there. So, in honour of doing it right, we're going to just cut it from here. Yoink. And that will give us an opportunity to perhaps have two opals rather than just flogging the thing to death. Have a look at what the side's like. Yes, it's very interesting. we've got ourselves an awful lot of sand that we need to clear. So, what do we do? Well, this might sound revolutionary, but clear the sand. Once again, going to go double-handed, two-edged sword, so to speak. Oh dear, that looks like a crack there. Will it go all the way through? So in order to do this properly, we have to hedge it, I think. It might even break. Let's see. Where's our colour coming from, and what do we need to protect? Okay, it's all down that side. Where's the biggest? Yeah, okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start from here. Naturally, you don't like doing this, but you're better off doing it. Let's have a look at what we were dealing with. Opal's just down here. Right, so I've got the real opal here, so to speak. I've got the fake here, because it's enantiomer. Let's bring it right up and see what we had. Yeah, that's right up until where the material was actually going. So I could have had a bit more precision, but not much more. Perfect cut. So what I can do now, knowing what that's done, is just very carefully get this other piece and trim down the edges where I've just trimmed down the edges. Makes perfect sense to me. One more piece of clearance to do, which is that piece of sand at the back there, which is a bit annoying, but what can you do? This is why opals are worth the big bucks, because they're not just going to come to the party instantly. They are going to get dragged into the setting, kicking and screaming. That's what they're going to do. There we go. Now this one, the only real option is to dop it up, because it's getting very, very small, and although I possibly could do a good job on the blade, you know you'll do a good job if you dop it up. So you cut your loss here, so to speak. Nice little opal, and it's got some flash of colour in there. I'm not sure how to demonstrate that, because it seems to be misbehaving under lights, but other than that, this guy here, I'm detecting a very faint green pattern just sitting behind the colour there, or the skin, so let's just try and get that out. If it doesn't come out, oh well. If it does come out, yippee. Very deep philosophy here at Dr. Phil Central. I think this is webbing, not cracks. So when you look at it and you go, oh, it's cracked. Truth be told, that has as much effect on the value if it's webbing or cracks, so it really doesn't matter that much, but I think it's webbing. In other words, the opal's actually fine, it just looks like it's cracked. Of course, if it falls apart in my hands, we'll know I'm wrong. That was a bit too deep. Shouldn't have done that, but oh well. Oh, hello, Aussie chick. Was it you who gave the like? Of course it was. How are ya? Our friend, the Aussie chick is our friend. There you go, you got yourself a song. There was movement at the station, for the word had got around. The cult from old regret had got away. The Opal guy arrived and he said nothing about poetry. And that's the way this channel's gonna stay. All that the light touches. Mufasa. Yo, he said nothing about rap and all that. So, what I've done here is I've made it look very nicely shaped. It's got a very faint green tinge to it. Hasn't ever developed in anything nice, but you know, at least my skills as an opal cutter, cutting green random rocks, has been proven. Yay! Worthy of a like. No! So in case you're interested, Opal guy, my beginning was interesting. Some wag came on and told me that if I didn't finish the stream immediately, then I would get a permaban. And because I was messing around with a butane torch, I didn't know if he was serious or not, so I decided to play it safe, and so I stopped the stream. This is the second version. And this is the opal that we've done. It's very subtle, quite nice, but very subtle. I don't regret it at all. No regrets. No regrets we don't have. No, not that one. Let's have a look at this one. Alright, this one's going to be cool. It's going to be a bit of a challenge to cut, but it's got nice colours in it. So, first things first, there's a cavity there. That's going to end up being cut right off. As a matter of fact, there's two cavities. The one on the left and the one on the right. The one that makes basically look like the skull of, oh, it's Skeletor. I'll get you, He-Man. Or maybe it's a platform shoe for my foot. You can dance, you can ride, having the time of your... Okay, well, I'm done. No, don't cut me, don't cut me, no, oh, curse you, curses, oh. Ow, that's my eye. Ah. I always wondered what kind of experimental process went into He-Man. Because he said, my life changed forever the day I held off my magic sword and said, by the power of Grayskull, I have the power. That seems fairly specific words. It seems like fairly specific words to just randomly say, doesn't it? So my question to you is, how long did He-Man spend experimenting before he came up with the right combination of objects and words? My life changed forever the day I held up this dandelion and said, I am an expert. No, that didn't work. My life changed forever the day I held up this umbrella and said, nobody pass. No, that didn't work either. Where are my bearskin underpants? And whilst we're on the topic, did you ever see any kind of universe mastery going on in that show? They did, after all, call themselves the Masters of the Universe. You'd expect some kind of, maybe some hints and tips. Yeah, today in Masters of the Universe, in order to master your universe, all you need to do is get a lump of plutonium. Something like that. Now, for your super laser... Oh, I did it. Just starting to think about it. It's like my life changed forever the day I held aloft my magic sword and said, this came from eBay. Oops, sorry, wrong way. I was just reading the receipt. I have the power. Yay, biscuit on pants. Party time. And now you know why he was called Cringer, that little cat. My life changed forever the day that I ordered my magic sword because it was free postage. Nice dose of propane is what I'd get. Yes. Now the hope is that because I've had to cut off so much material, is there any precious opal left on here? The hope is yes. Is the answer yes? I think so. Let's have a look. Yeah, it's got a little bit left on it. I'll top it up and we'll see what it ends up like. So I would call that, yes, a success, sort of. Sometimes you just get a stone and you think that it has a bit of potential. I'm hoping that I'm right, because like this doesn't look particularly amazing, other than I have a funny feeling that it's going to be good. Once again, from the way it's cutting, I'm suspecting that it is from the growing field. This stone's from growing. That was because I was trying to do too much on one side. If I move my arm around, this works better. The only trouble is heavy breathing. Yay! What this basically means is that I'm doing my opal cutting the same way that you do freestyle. So you're going to cut, move to the side to breathe, or else my hot breath lands on this phone, and no one wants that. Perfect. Now I can breathe easy. I saw a little bit of pattern here, so we'll see if that pattern develops. If not, moving on to the next stone, because we don't have a lot of time. I'm looking for the magnum opal now. We're up 50, 56, and I said I'd only spend 40 minutes or so on here. I lied. Ain't I a stinker? Well, someone added a like to the system. My good friend Opal guy, so something worked. Not very woke to call them lurkers, is it? I think we call them vocal and textually challenged. diversity clay that has a motto of inhibition is strength. Oh, that's interesting. Let's see what happens if we just give this a little bit of life over here. What have we got? A weird little enclave of sand. What does that tell us? Let's go in, have a look at it. Little sand pack. So this is another cherry blossom pattern. So let me just try and eke out the cherry blossom. Somewhat optimistically digging right into the top of this opal because I actually think there might be something there. May have to do the unthinkable, which is this. Don't worry, my hands are safe. There is most decidedly something there. It's subtle at the moment. Let's give it a shot. Let's see if we can get more out of it. There is definitely signal in this noise. Right. Hopefully I'm doing the right thing. Could be doing the complete opposite of the right thing, which I hear is the wrong thing. So let's see how we go. Going to quickly slice this bit off and have a look at it. There it is, finally. Hope you can see that. There's a bit of colour just in there. Let's try and bring it out. It's certainly not going to win the prize, but it could have. It's just gone a little bit shinier. Because there's a nice shiny patch on it, but it's just not shiny enough. See what happens when we shine it up, I suppose. Let's have a look at this piece. Maybe this will. This may well come from Explodabee. Yeah. They hand them out in Wheaties packets around here. This is most certainly a yeah, this is a meant to be. For sure. So what I'll do is I'll carve this into a cab shape, maybe a bit later, because I reckon there will be colour here. We're not going to see it right this moment from the looks of things. It's pretty, but it never did the thing I wanted it to do. Bit annoying. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do a last gasp, and I am going to angle it away, see if I can get that colour to come out that way. No, so I think I'll move on. What I'll do is, we'll finish on this note. We'll just cut this giant one in half and see what it looks like. That'll be fun. Cutting along the crack line and any other lines I can find. I'm trying to avoid cutting into opal if I can at all avoid it. Oh, wow. That was like a mini pinball game. I don't want to be cutting off. You will be. But I don't want to. Ah! So the bizarre angles are because I'm cutting along the crack lines. In case you think I've just lost it. There's sand and crack lines. I'm trying to cut along those. This blade's on its last legs. It should have eaten through this, but it isn't. I don't think it's a particularly tough knobby. It is a knobby, by the way, quite a large one. It's certainly not characterised by white tops or the normal things that you see. But Opal is definitely not what you would consider an exact science. Any second now. That's not what I was talking about. This is me having trouble holding it steady in the middle. There we go. So there's our crack line. That's pretty close. You can see that it's actually coming across there. So that should be relatively easy. You can see here, got two lines that we kind of intersected. Worry about that in a second. Doesn't look like it's going to go anywhere anyway. Let's do... Where was it? Here. Let's go along here. Hopefully it's naturally going up the trays and smile. Not quite, but close enough. now. There we go. What will it reveal? Better be worth it. I know it looks chaotic, but I am cutting it along known fracture lines, in case you're wondering. Well, semi-known anyway. There's reason, there's method in the madness. There's also a lot of madness, but there's a lot of method too. Nothing revolutionary there. We'll find out in a second. Yay! There we go. Giant bit of blobbiness right in the middle. That was causing all of the structural instability within the opal medium. Turn that down now so that we don't. Just having a look here. Okay, so there's a bit of I'll just carve that off. What I can tell you about this is because of the amount of material that's sitting in here, if this opal has got no shine in it whatsoever, it means that we're about 1 or 2 million years too early. We're too impatient to hoik it out of the ground. It does look like there's something here, which is good. But what I'll do is I think we'll have to continue this adventure on another night. I'll just quickly get some of this skin off and see. But there we go. Yeah, definitely running out of blade. Let's have a look what we got. Just having a quick look on the... Okay, there's a few avenues to cut. I'll have a quick look over here on the other side. Right. Let's see if we can just... Actually, will it break? Yep, I broke it. So, that's what's in the inside there. That's what's on the inside there. Now this is kind of encouraging. Let's just quickly take this piece apart. Right. Interesting. Let's have a quick look over here, see what we get. Maybe. Alright. I think we'll have to end it here. We've got a few good opals right at the very beginning. Let's go and have a quick look under this bit, see what we get. Nada. Zip. Right, so there's just a hint of colour here, but I'll have to finish this off here. We'll look at it in the sunlight and see if there's anything worth exploring. If not, we turf, we move on. But there's no sunlight here at the moment on account of it being winter and nighttime. Don't think the winter is as important as the fact that it's nighttime, but you get the general gist. Right. There's a few areas to explore later on, but mostly dead. Yeah, this bit's a bit interesting. Have a quick look at it. See ya. That's my cue. Alright. Yoink. Well, that's interesting. That slowed down a little bit too quickly. Tells me there's something wrong with the blade. Let's go have a quick word with the birdies and then we will, yoink. Ugh. Apologies. There's the experiment that just started up before someone killjoyed it. Show you this quickly now. Pop this in here. Turn the gas on. So that's some residue. It's probably just sodium carbonate and acid and stuff. But I'm melting it just in case there is actually some silver in there. Just a quick melt test. Most likely candidate is tin. Get the main mash going here. Don't want to go too close in there because it'll starve the flame. Sorry, that mass is heating nicely in there. Something's melting out of it. Looks like tin though, which is not what I want. We're getting a few silver bits in there. That's nice. That means we've got more sodium carbonate than tin in there because tin would really mess it all up. flame got starved. That's the problem with doing it in a crucible. Wait a second for the smoke to dissipate, and then I'll go inside and say hello to the birds. And there may be some sort of accumulation in the bottom. I'm going to have to find out in the morning, I'm afraid. In 10 seconds, hopefully the smoke will clear. We'll say goodbye to the birds, and then we'll finish the stream. All right, there we go. In, close the door. Smoke is worse for birds than just humans. All right. Good night, Loki. Good night, Max. You want to scratch? Temperamental little thing. Yeah. By the way, here's his new bowl. Totally organic. Ain't that right, Max? Yes or no? Partially wild this cockatoo is, so he doesn't trust me, and although I trust him, it's kind of I trust him to bite if he's pissed off. So well, all right, I'm getting it out of here. You have a good night, okay? Yeah, whatever. Look at that. He left his nuts on the ground. Okay. Come here, Pony. Come on, what's going on with you? You're looking decrepit. Come here. Yoink. She is molting at the moment, so she's looking pretty yuck. But here we go. Yeah. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Like and subscribe. Whoa. Like and subscribe. And that's it. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you had a fun time. At least we got to burn some stuff. That was fun. I suppose that's all we got tonight. Got a pigeon, got 2 cockatoos, got some opals and some fire. What else do you want? Have a lovely evening. Dr. Phil out.